Well, it would appear the power is out in my area, including where I live. And I'm just walking towards Jane Street here. And yeah, so do I have to leave my house because the power's out? No. I have solar generators that will keep my refrigeration going. I don't have them activated yet because I have radio frequency temperature probes in my deep freeze, in my refrigerator freezer, and in my refrigerator. So once they get to a certain temperature, they will activate through my solar generators, and so I don't have to worry about that. I will, if it's prolonged power outage, I will have to recharge the solar generators using my solar panels, and on a day like today, but anyhow, it wouldn't happen until tomorrow anyways. But yeah, you're not going to get much solar generation because it's not sunny. But I'm not even worried about that right now. Your refrigeration system, your deep freeze can last before you even have to worry about plugging it in or activating it to your generators. You know, you've got a good 24 hours before your food's going to be compromised. I would consider my refrigerator about 8 hours into a power outage before I would activate it. So as you can see, the lights are out for the traffic. But I noticed across the street, it would appear that the variety store has some power. So I'm gonna go in and talk to the guy. I know the guy in there. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm gonna go over a bit of some power outage scenarios here in 1 second. So when the lights are out, it's supposed to be treated as a four-way stop. So you come up and you treat it like a four-way stop. Now people in Toronto and in Canada, especially in the cities, they don't know how to drive. They don't know. They just resort back to, it's a free-for-all. Let's just see in here. Sir,
Yeah, brother.
how do you have lights on in here?
Well,
Oh, you got a generator? No?
no, that's what happens. Sometimes it all depends on the transformer.
Yeah. So you, yeah, I know that. So you're,
I think I correct some.
wow, you just made it.
Yeah, but most of the time over there have it that I
Well,
have the power.
I might as well get my lottery tickets while I'm here. So the guy that I know in there, the owner, nice guy. I didn't want to get him on film, a camera. But yeah, so he has power in there. Now I asked him if he had a generator. He said no, his power's just not off. So that's possible. And to have a generator, and I don't hear a generator, a gas or a diesel generator coming out of this location. But who's to say he doesn't have a battery bank with solar panels? I don't know. But I'm gonna go up the street a little bit. Yeah, okay, so he has no generation. He is on power because up at the next lights, you can see that the lights are on, the traffic lights. So from here, from Pritchard Avenue, oh, okay. So the lights are on down at Jane and St. Clair as well. So it's a small pocket of people without power, and I'm one of them, and that's okay. So in the event that this variety store didn't have power, obviously you can't buy anything from like lottery tickets, you can't use your debit, you can't use your Interact. That's why it's good to always have cash. Now, I thought he wasn't gonna have power, but I have cash on. And I bought a little Mr. Big here, just as a little treat, because I'm gonna go make a coffee. I have provisions on me right now to make a coffee, and I have extra food on me too. I always have that. So my point being is, I don't care if the power's out. It's not gonna really affect me a whole lot for a little while. Now, in the event that the power is out for 3-4 days, yeah, no, I'd have to do a little work. But even then, I wouldn't be too concerned about where I live. But 3 or 4 days in a power outage, you're gonna have mass chaos in the streets. You're gonna have civil unrest. So that's what you have to be worried about. Now, if you have a gas generator, propane, diesel generator, people can hear them. if you have solar generation with battery banks, solar chargers, you're not gonna hear those. And now if you can't cook in your house, you got to cook outside. So you use your barbecue, your propane barbecue. If you have natural gas, you can use natural gas for a limited amount of time until the pumping stations there stop working. So, or you can use wood. You can use alternate means of fuel to cook with. I have all that because that's what I do. So I'm just on a little bit of a walk anyways, and so this is part of my daily routine. It just so happens I have zero power at my house. Now, why is the power out in my neighborhood? I don't know. But I also have an emergency radio with me. I could wear my earbuds as well to hook up to that. It's Bluetooth. I didn't. But this has weather reports on it, and it did indicate on the AM channel I have it on, 680 News in Toronto, that there was a power outage in my neighborhood. It didn't say why. It just said that Toronto Hydro was working on it. And like I said, it doesn't affect me really anyways. So now this is going to tie in to prolonged power outages. And also, if you don't have a means or a supply of food, what it could mean for you and your family long term, you'll starve. In a nutshell, you'll go hungry. Then people, when they go hungry, they look for other people to give them food, and they might come to your house. Now, how are you going to defend against that? Well, that's a question you got to ask yourself. Now, if your bank card, for whatever reason, your credit card doesn't work for whatever reason, in a power outage situation, it's not going to work at a store level, and their cash registers won't work, so you essentially can't buy anything. So down the road, when they do eliminate cash, we go to a cashless society, how are you going to get by? You know, you need, you're out of food because you didn't prepare, you didn't stockpile food. So how are you going to survive? You know, you go with a social credit score, and the Communist Party of Canada, the Liberal Party, and Carney, they decide that you are a political dissident. They push a button. None of your digital ways of paying works. So what do? They don't want you burning firewood. They don't want that. They don't want you burning coal. They don't want any of that. So this is, you know, I'm sure this is going to be temporary, but I don't care if it is or if it isn't. I'm prepared for long term. Not as prepared as I possibly could be. I live in a city. Living in a city is dangerous in a grid down situation. Everyone knows that has any sort of common sense. So in a long-term situation, you could do two things. You could hold and secure your property and protect your food, your water, whatever you got to protect. Or you have to get out to a location outside the city that you have already set up, and ideally you want to have stockpiles of supplies between here and there, but you know, in the city that's pretty hard to do. But you should look into it. On my preparedness scale from 1 to 10, I'd say I'm a 6.5. Most people are 0 to 1. They rely on Tim Hortons and Starbucks to feed them and their family. Nice little dog there. Anyhow, I'm gonna stop up here and make a coffee. So I'm at my emergency transition point, bug out point. Kidding, but this is kind of a real situation. But anyhow, so every day I carry this pack with me, or a similar pack, and today I have in this back sling here, I think it's a 3-4 liter pack. I carry this crossover on my front, and I carry that on my back. So in there I got everything to make a coffee. I got some extra food in there, and you see me buy the Mr. Big Bar, so I'm going to enjoy that with my coffee, and I'm going to set up my coffee. Just wait for that water to boil. I got my pour over filter. It's gonna go in here. I got coffee, cream, and sugar. And I'm gonna enjoy a coffee during my power outage. And yeah. And I'll use that, my backsling, as a dry area to sit on. And when the water boils, just pour it over and make my coffee. A lot of people in rural areas are prepared for such an event. They have their entire house hooked up to alternate means of power, whether it be a larger gas or diesel generator, whether it be a separate outbuilding with your battery banks, your solar panels feeding into that outbuilding. You can't have your batteries cold, so you have to have a heated outbuilding. There's a little thought and preparation and money, quite a bit of money put into going with your house off the government grid. But I have for my space, my square footage, I'm set up I'm set up really good. So I don't have too many concerns, but like I said earlier, I don't think this is going to be a prolonged outage, but it could be. I don't know. I haven't really heard the reasoning on the emergency radio yet. And that emergency radio also has a 5,000 milliamp battery bank that you can hook up through USB-C. But I also have another 5,000 milliamp battery hooked up in my front crossover. So in the event that that my watch, I also have a watch charging cable in there. In the event that my watch or my phone dies, I can charge it up. And that radio also has an emergency light on it as well. I didn't take my bug out get home bag with me, and you know, I have a couple of them, so I could have, but I didn't have to, because it's not it's not an emergency. My life isn't in more risk than it usually is by traversing the streets of Toronto. Up there is I guess in total about 7 large apartment buildings, and I believe they have power on still, so it's not a problem. But if you have 7 apartment buildings up there, you can imagine the amount of people that it affects if the power is out. And 2 or 3 days into a power outage, those people aren't going to be in their apartment. They will be milling about and they'll be going into these neighborhoods, and even the neighbors will be milling about, because there is going to be some desperation, because people aren't prepared for this sort of thing. Just be aware of that if you live in the city. And as you can see, that doesn't take long to boil at all. This is my 6500 watt stove. It's not a single burner. It is very efficient. And I just fill up that thermos with filtered water. I did use filtered water today for that. And then I know I have enough water exactly to put into my collapsible silicone kettle to pour back in over my coffee. It's a bit of a slow process, and obviously I didn't have to leave my house to do this. I have so many different ways to cook food, to heat up water, to filter water. I'm just doing this as a demonstration. Now, ideally, in a SHTF situation, in a grid down situation, I wouldn't be at this park. You're either going to be in a vehicle, truck, car, to get out to your far location, or in the event that the roads are all blocked off, because it's a real SHTF situation and the roads are all blocked off, you're gonna have to proceed on foot. Use the e-bike. If you have charging capabilities for your e-bike, which I have limited, I can get an extra, I don't know, say 40 kilometers, or maybe not that much, maybe 30 kilometers out of my my system. I can get about 130 kilometers on my e-bike with a bug out situation, load out. And yeah, so there's a lot of things to think about. But when something like this happens, it's a good reminder, and it, you know, it's a good wake-up call for any prolonged people that for a prolonged outage, that people that don't have any sort of backup plan. Less talk, more pour, huh? Because when the power went out at my house, I only had 1 coffee in me. So I thought, and the power's been out about almost an hour and a half now. And I don't know if it's back on at my house. I don't know. And but anyhow, I'm gonna finish this coffee off, and I'm gonna head home and have my Mr. Big Bar with my coffee. And also, it's calling for some pretty heavy snow today or later on today and tonight, but mostly north of the city, mostly towards Barrie, Innisville, Bradford, out that way. But we should get a little bit of it too. It's just announcing it on the radio. This also has the emergency channel, the NOAA channel as well. It's got a little solar panel on it, little crank. This battery in this radio, when you run it through the radio or Bluetooth, that's the name brand. I got it off Amazon. I don't know if they still sell them. It's a couple years old, 3 years. But the battery lasts forever. And it's got a crank on it. The crank and the solar panel are useless, so I wouldn't rely on those. But it does have a 5,000 milliamp emergency charging battery in it, so you can charge your phone, whatever. And it has a light. So yeah, it's an excellent little radio, and I have several. You know what? There's a bunch of little kids coming right now. There's a junior school, and I believe a couple daycares around here. So I'm just wondering if their power is out. I'm just going to turn the camera quick. You really can't really get a look at the kids. But I'm just going to show you quick. I don't want to get kids on camera. You know that. So there's probably like 15, 20 kids there. I'm going to ask them if their power's out.
Ready to move forward. I'm Enrique Amatoro. At least 13 people have been killed.
Hi guys. Is your power out?
No, it's not.
Where are you guys? You go to the school over here?
Yeah, the school, yeah.
You're not on camera. You're not on camera. So your power's good, eh?
Our power's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't go out at all?
Not at all. It glitched a little bit, but yeah.
Okay, okay. Where are you guys going?
Oh, where are we going? We're going for a nice little nature walk.
What are these, all 4 or 5 year olds?
3 and a half, 4, yeah.
Have a good nature walk, guys. See ya.
Bye, have a good day.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Bunch of cute kids, but so their power wasn't out. They're at the school that's around the corner, and their power wasn't out. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Huh. But I know the power was out, just not at my house. The power was out because you seen the street light or the traffic lights out at Pritchard and Jane Street. So I'm not losing my mind here, people. So anyhow, yeah, I just made my coffee, put the cream and sugar in it. Just eating the Mr. Big Bar, and I'm gonna have some of my coffee. And they don't look very appealing, but they taste a lot better than they look. At the end of this video, I'm gonna put in a thumbnail link, I'm gonna put a video that Dennis Quaid did that he narrated years ago, and it's called Grid Down, Power Up. I'll put the link at the end of this video. I want you to watch that. It gives you a lot of valuable insight, and it might get you into the preparedness mindset in the event of a grid down for whatever reason. Solar flare, EMP, electrical magnetic pulse caused by a low-level nuclear device, and terrorism. These power generating stations and substations are susceptible to terroristic attacks. And I'm in a hydro field now, and I have the Runnymede substation down there. It's a big substation, big Toronto Hydro project. I think Ontario Hydro as well was involved. And yeah, and I've done a video on that where they put up large concrete walls around the transformers because they want to try to prevent people damaging them, because they just can't get these up and running, or they have one in stock. They're huge. They come from overseas. They have to be shipped on a ship. So yeah, so I'll put it in the end of this video. Grid down, power up.
60 or over, talk to your healthcare provider about Pfizer's Abrisvo. Visit abrisvo.ca.
Never leave evidence where you've been situated or camped out. Have a good day. I was talking to a lady over there. She approached me like a lot of the ladies do. A lot do and a lot don't. She seen my little setup there and asked a few questions. She was a Spanish lady. And she's over there picking, I think she said marigold seeds, so she can plant them. This is a common garden that people have plots, and it's been here since I was a kid. So I like people like that, right? She was asking me a couple questions, and I just asked her what she was picking. I didn't really want to ask her any questions. But yeah, so I'm heading home. Power's not on? Nah, who cares? I'm good.